You know, in this huge race to build the future of artificial intelligence, what if the most powerful tool we have isn't a better algorithm, but just a better way of listening? In this explainer, we're going to dive into how simple, human connection could be the real foundation for technology in this new AI age.
It's a massive question, isn't it? As we're racing ahead, building these incredible, world-changing systems, we've got to pause for a second and ask, what crucial human element is getting left behind in all the code?
So to answer that, we first need to get a handle on how today's AI even sees the world. Because really, in a lot of ways, it's just a mirror. It's reflecting what we show it. The main food, if you will, for these gigantic AI models is the public internet. I mean, pretty much everything that's ever been digitized and put online. But that brings up a really critical point. What about all the knowledge that isn't online? What about the wisdom that's held in conversations, in local communities, in languages that don't even have a digital footprint?
And this right here, this leads us to a huge problem. It's a problem that even has a name, digital colonialism. It's the risk we run when our technology only learns from one slice of the world, and in doing so, it just erases the rest. At its heart, this is a pattern we've seen before, just in a new form. When technology just takes local knowledge, packages it up for global profit, all without the community's okay or benefit, well, that's just extraction. And as the source material points out, this new version of colonialism is faster, quieter, and more total than anything in history.
And the stakes here are incredibly high. I mean, we're not just talking about data points. We're talking about the potential loss of entire languages, of cultural memories. We're talking about communities losing control over their own stories, what's called their narrative sovereignty, and instead having biased outside values pushed on them through the tech they use.
Okay, so, faced with a problem that big, that systemic, where do you even begin? Well, it turns out the response is actually beautifully and powerfully simple.
Right. It doesn't require billions of dollars or some brand new complex algorithm. The starting point for building a better technological future is something way more fundamental. The solution isn't found in code, it's found in connection. It starts with people, sitting face to face, sharing their wisdom. It all begins with the simple and kind of radical act of just listening. And this is the whole idea behind story benches. They're way more than just furniture, right? Think of them as a kind of listening infrastructure. These designated spaces where knowledge can actually pass between generations, making sure that local wisdom is valued, heard, and kept alive. But a single bench, that's just the start. It's the very first step in what you could call a regenerative system, one that takes you from the simple act of sharing a story all the way to the powerful act of a community truly governing its own future. So the pathway from a story to real sovereignty is actually pretty clear. First, you gather that local wisdom, but it's not treated as some free resource to be scraped. It becomes sovereign data, a digital asset that's owned and controlled by the community. That data then becomes the ethical foundation for training local AI systems, using frameworks like Dawn to make sure the tech is serving the community's well-being. And finally, local groups, like watershed peace councils, make sure that control over the whole process stays right there, with the community itself.
So we are really at a fork in the road here. One path leads to what you could call extractive AI, where data is taken and culture is erased. The other path leads to sovereign AI, where data is cared for, stewarded by the community, which leads to cultural survival. This isn't just some small technical choice. It's a huge civilizational one.
And the best part is, choosing this better path isn't just a theory. It's a real, living project, and it's being built by people who are participating right now. UnityNet is actively inviting communities everywhere to pioneer this whole approach by starting their own Storybench pilot projects. It's a chance to start building that local listening infrastructure, literally one conversation at a time, and to help shape a more fair and equitable future with technology.
So, to wrap this up, let's just come back to the most powerful idea at the very heart of this entire system. In a world that is rushing to build bigger data centers and ever faster algorithms, maybe, just maybe, the most durable, the most resilient, and the most truly human foundation we can build for our future is simply a bench, a place where one generation can speak and another can truly listen. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.